Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra, I am preacher of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. And today I am going to talk about human behavior and Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. How our behavior is reflect with our thoughts and with our actions. I am going to talk. But before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Shrimad Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Bhaktivedanta Srila Mahaprabhupada from ISKCON temple. And I would have to say Srimad Bhagavad Gita is neither religious book nor spiritual book, but a true and pure book of science and humanity. I am trying to propagate a humanity on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and trying to morally motivate to those people who are actually frustrated and attempt to commit suicide on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So let's get into our human behavior. Means many people told me that it's very difficult as per psychology. It's very difficult to understand the mind. It's very difficult to understand the thoughts. But when we start to understand our behavior or behavior of each and every individual one, at that time we can come to know about the thought process. So in order to study a mind, we have to study a behavior, and it's very difficult, it's next to impossible to study our mind. So mind is dynamic, mind is changing, the thought process are changing, which have been changing and also being changed. So it's changing process is going on, it's a dynamic. So today I am having some kind of different thoughts, even each and every fraction of second, our thoughts, our ideas which are being changed. So it's very difficult to understand mind. But Lord Krishna stated about how to control mind. Means Lord Krishna make all of us understand how to control our mind. So as per psychology means psyche. Psyche means our soul. A soul is directly connected with super soul. If you really want to understand the soul, then you have to directly make yourself establish a connection with the super soul. So in order to understand super soul, you have to control your mind, you have to control your senses. And until unless you are not in devotional practices, you are not able to control your behavior. So if you control your behavior, how to control your behavior? So this is the main things which I am going to talk with all of you. So how to conduct, how to show a good virtue, how to behave in a good manner. So Lord Krishna here stated in chapter number 3, verse number, here Lord Krishna stated which are these all verses are, the verses are verse means when Arjuna asked from verse number 36 to verse number 42, then Lord Krishna stated in chapter number 3 how to control your behavior therapy, behavior things is required. And I am going to talk about how to control your behavior, how to conduct a good behavior, how to show your good gesture. So here, see, when Arjuna asked अथ केन प्रयुक्तो पापचरित पुरुषः अनिच्छनापि वासनीय बलादिवा नियोजित अथ केन प्रयुक्तो. Here Arjuna asked, हे माधव, हे मधुसूदन, हे मुकुंदा, हे मुरारी, हे गोविंद, please tell me one thing. अथ केन प्रयुक्तो पापचरित पुरुषः अनिच्छनापि वार्षाण्य बलादिवा नियोजित. अनिच्छनापि वार्षाण्य बलादिवा नियोजित. Here Arjuna stated, Madhav, I don't want to involve in any kind of misbehavior practices. I don't want to involve, but something which force me to involve in the misbehavior practices or not good behavior practices. So athakena prayukto papa charita puruso anichanapi bala diva niyojita. Arjuna stated, O descendant of Vishnu, by what is one impelled to sinful acts? By what is one impelled to misbehavioral act, even if unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Which are these all force which impel to all of us to engage in the particular misbehavioral practices? Here Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, means why people are misbehaving with other people. Why? What are the reason? The reason behind each and every misbehavioral practices is your desire and your expectation. If your desire and your expectation both are fulfilled, then your behavior would be very good. But when, listen it very carefully, but when your behavior, your desire, your expectations are not fulfilled, then your behavior has been changed. Your behavior might be good or might be bad. So this is the reason your desire, your expectations are only responsible for your behavior. If something will happen as per your expectation, then your behavior would be very good. But but when your expectations are not fulfilled, if something will not happen as per your expectation, then your behavior might be worse than worst. So this is what Bhagwan stated. Sri Bhagavan Uvach काम क्रोध इस रजोगुण समृद्ध हे पार्थ, हे धनुर्धर, हे अर्जुन. Here Madhav Madhusudan Mukunda stated, Kama Krodha is a Rajoguna Samruddha, Mahasano Mahapapo Vignanam Varina. Here Krishna stated, Mahasano Mahapapo Vignanam Varina. Vignanam Varina, your greatest enemy. Which is your greatest enemy? Your expectation and your desire. Here Krishna stated. Here Vasudeva Madhusudan Mukunda stated. Krishna stated, Arjun asked, Madhav, I don't want to involve the sinful practices, I don't want to involve in the misbehavioral practices, but which are these all things which impede me or force me to involve or incur the sinful activities? Here, Vasudeva Krishna stated, Kama is a Krodha is your anger and your desire, both are mainly responsible for your misbehavioral practices. Here Krishna stated, this is a psychological thoughts, this is a psychodynamic theory which Lord Krishna stated in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Here Krishna stated, Kama is a Krodha is a Rajoguna Samruddha, Mahasano Mahapapo Vignanam Varina. Here Krishna stated, Mahasano Mahapapo Vignanam Varina. Mahasano Mahapapo Vignanam Varina. O Supreme Personality Godhead, Madhav Madhusudan Mukunda Murari stated. Here Krishna stated, it is only lust. It is lust only path, Arjun, which born of the contact of with the material mode of the passion, Rajoguna Samruddha, and later transferred into the Vred, which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world, which is all devouring enemy of this material world. It's your greatest enemy. Your lust and anger, both are your greatest enemy. Your Lord Krishna stated verse number 23, chapter number 16. Here Lord Krishna stated, what Lord Krishna stated? Three guna narakasya dvaranam nasanam, trividha narakasya dvaranam nasanam atmanah. त्रिविधम नरकस्य द्वारणम नाशनम आत्मानः काम क्रोध तथा लोभ तस्माद त्वयं तु त्यज्यते. हे पार्थ, हे कुंती पुत्र, हे पुथा पुत्र, हे अर्जुन, त्रिविधम नरकस्य द्वारणम नाशनम आत्मानः काम क्रोध तथा लोभ तस्माद त्वयं तु त्यज्यते. हे पार्थ, काम क्रोध तथा लोभ तस्माद त्वयं तु त्यज्यते. Immediately you have to renunciate, immediately you have to give up. The anger, lust and greed, these three are responsible for degradation of your soul and which lead you toward the hell. Someone will tell you, I will make your life hell. But these people will never do it. The people, only you, your anger, lust and greed which make your life hell. So this is what I would have to say. This is the only reason our lust, anger and greed which are mainly responsible for our misbehavioral practices or not good conduct practices, not moral and values found in our behavior, in our character. If there is a lust, anger and greeds are there. तुमरे ना व्रियते है ब्रहित्वा या दसहो मलेन चह Yathuna balena vrutto garbhastha tedenama avratam. Here Krishna further stated, as a fire is covered by smoke. The Krishna stated, fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, and as the embryo is covered by the womb, and also living entity similarly covered different degree of this lust. Even I am having a lust, I am having a desire, you are also having a desire. Lust is not only sexual activities. Lust is called any desire which one is outside from your goal. So this is what you have to understand. Lust means not sexual desire, it's any desire which one is outside from your goal, which lead you toward the hell side, which deviate you from the devotional path, which lead you which deviate from the Lord Krishna's path. So this is called lust. Lord Krishna further stated, Avratam gnanameteno gnanino nityavairina kamarupena kanteya duspurne anlena cha. Here Krishna stated, Avratam gnanameteno gnanino nityavairina kamarupena kanteya duspurne anlena cha. Here Krishna stated thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness become covered by his eternal enemy in the form of the lust, which never satisfy. Our desire, our expectation will never satisfy. However, I am having a strong desire. I want to complete or fulfill the desire of my partner, of my family member, but I will fail to do so because desires are dynamic, because mind is dynamic, and desires which took a birth in the mind, not in the soul, not in the heart. So mind is dynamic and our desire is dynamic. Within 1 minute my desire has been changed. So desires are dynamic, expectations are dynamic, and our minds is also dynamic. So this is what I would have to say. Our mind, our desire and expectation which decide our behavior, and our desire and expectation which never satisfy, and it will burn like a fire, and it will decide our behavior. It will definitely reflect in our behavior. So how to behave in a good manner, how to behave very civilized person or civilized manner. So if you control your desire and anger and lust, then you will surely behave a good person. Your character will definitely become a good. Lord Krishna further stated, Indriyani manobuddhira adhishtanam uchyate eter vimohate esha gnanam avratam dehina ete vimohate esha gnana avratam dehina. Ye Krishna, Madhav, Madhusudan, Mukunda, Murari, Govind, Govardhan. Here Krishna stated, Indriyani manabuddhira adhishtanam uchyate eter vimohate esa gnana avratam dehina. Here what Krishna stated, thus the senses, the mind and intelligence are sitting place of the lust. Our intelligence, our senses and our minds, these all are sitting place of our desire, our expectation. So Lord Krishna stated, your greatest enemy is only your desire, which decide your behavior. In order to control your behavior, in order to control on your physical activities, you have to control your desire. And how to control desire? First you have to understand what is the sitting place of the particular desire. Here Lord Krishna stated, senses, the mind and intelligence are sitting place of this lust, and and through them lust cover the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilder him. Lust cover the real knowledge of living entity and also bewilder each and every living entity. Lord Krishna further stated, Tasmada indriyani adu niyamya bharatvarsah papa prajahi ena jnana vijnana nasanam. Here Krishna directly stated where the particular lust and desires are living. Here Krishna stated, the mind, intelligence and senses are sitting place of this particular lust. So how to control our behavior? How to control? So here Lord Krishna stated, Tasmada Indriyani Adu Niyamya Bharat Varsha Papa Prajahi Ena Jnana Vijnana Nasanam. Here Krishna stated, therefore Arjun, based of Bharata, in the very beginning, what you have to do in order to curb the great symbol of the lust, you have to regulate by senses. By senses, you have to regulate your desire. You can't control your mind, but you can regulate. Means we can control, somehow we can control, but we can't control our senses. We can only regulate our senses. Means what we have to see, what we have to speak, what we have to sniff, what we have to hear, and what we have to touch. If we regulate five senses by our five sensory organs, then our behavior, we can easily control our mind. And if we control our mind, our behavior, our conduct, our executions will definitely be controlled by our soul. If we control our mind, then we have already control our soul. So this is what Lord Krishna stated. We have controlled our behavior if we control our mind. Here Krishna stated, Indriyani paraniya hari indriya e abhya param manaha manastattu para buddhira buddhe parakastu cha. Here working senses are superior to the dull matter. Working senses are superior to the dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Mind is always higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And the soul is still higher than the intelligence. This is what Lord Krishna stated. Lord Krishna further stated, Bandhura atmana tasya en atmanav jitaha anatmana satru varte vartameva satru vartaha anatmana satru varte vartate meva satru vartaha. Here Krishna stated, for him who has conquered his mind, the mind is best friend of the particular person, but the person who has failed to do so, his very mind is greatest enemy of the particular person. So, in order to conquer your mind, you have to control, you have to regulate your senses by your sensory organs. And this is most required to control your behavior. Lord Krishna further stated, Chitatmana prasantasya paramatma samahitah शीतोष्ण सुख दुखेषु तथा मान अपमान योह शीतोष्ण सुख दुखेषु तथा मान अपमान योह. For one who has conquered his mind, that person, he is already reached to super soul, for he has attained the supreme tranquility. And to such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, and also honor and dishonor, these all are same for that particular person. This is what Lord Krishna stated. I hope you all can understand how to control our behavior and how to overcome from the material desire. I hope you all can understand. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe.